Hannah means family.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze.
Hello and welcome. I am Jay.
I'm Andrea.
And this is the Disney Plus Us podcast, a podcast dedicated to the Disney Plus streaming service. Today, you have landed on a special episode.
Woo!
This is our spoiler-free review of Cruella.
Cruella.
You know, we've watched this, and you're wondering, is it worth my time? Should I be going to the movies? Should I be purchasing this on Disney Plus?
Because this is one of those special releases. It's in theaters right now, but you could also watch it in the comfort of your own home, but you have to pay $30.
Yeah.
And be a Disney Plus subscriber to begin with, right?
Or you could slow play this one. Wait till I hear, I don't know if August, but like wait a couple months and then it's free.
Which, heads up, Raya and the Last Dragon, starting June 4th, which is this next coming week, will be available to all Disney Plus viewers.
You must see this.
So if you slow played that one and you were waiting for it to be free, soon, my friends, soon. And if you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. Go watch it.
Well done.
Yeah. Back to Cruella.
Back to Cruella. Okay, let's actually go into initial reactions.
Aha. Okay, so I really enjoyed this movie. Yeah. I didn't know what to expect going in. I heard things like, it's like Devil Wears Prada meets the Joker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, what's this going to be? And knowing what I know about Cruella de Vil and the original 101 Dalmatians, we talked about her a lot, which, shameless plug for a previous episode, go back and listen to that one. We watched it. I'm like, how are they going to make a puppy killer, crazy lady? How are they going to make her sympathetic to the point where I want to watch a 2-hour movie about this woman? Folks, they did it. Like, I don't know that they necessarily got me to the, I fully understand this character now as she was conceived in the original 101 Dalmatians. But I really like the character that they showed me. She was interesting. You didn't quite know what she was going to do. It was just a really fun movie to watch. So, thumbs up for me. Jay?
You know, I am going to echo your thumbs up. I had a blast. Watching Emma Stone's character evolve, get backstory, and kind of own her badassness was a pure treat. Now, there's aspects of this film I completely admire. I love the fashion. I love the cinematography. The music was a lot of fun. There was a lot of music in this one.
Yeah.
A lot. And everything about this, including the story, was really good. The only nitpick I could give it is some of the pacing felt off, and I didn't love the voiceovers and the exposition.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they relied on voiceover when they didn't necessarily need to.
Yeah, but, whatever.
But, that's a nitpicky thing in an otherwise really enjoyable movie.
What is the story summary? What is the brief, hey, what's Cruella about?
Yeah, with no spoilers, which if you're still listening to this point, I should warn you that you should expect maybe some discussion of the story and characters, but we'll try and avoid any huge plot points that will ruin it for you. But if you want to go in completely blind,
maybe turn this off
and listen to it after you've seen the movie.
But you've clicked on this link, so thank you.
So this story is essentially a backstory for Cruella de Vil, who is a known puppy kidnapper from the original 101 Dalmatians. She's got the crazy black and white hair, The insane fashion choices, the terrible driving. We know this about her as a character. We get to see parts of her childhood. We get to see how she meets her two henchmen. And we get to see kind of how she slowly turns into kind of, girl with attitude, but trying to keep it in check into, a fully realized Disney villain.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really, and this is my commentary here, I don't really feel like she turned into a villain at the end.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
You're kind of rooting for her the whole time. And she doesn't really do anything in the movie that is super horrible and unforgivable.
That's
like
true.
Most of the quote unquote bad things she does are attitude and like petty thievery.
That's true.
So I still feel like there's a logical leap from the end of this movie to where she got to 101 Dalmatian level of bad.
Even in 101 Dalmatians, she was completely enjoyable there.
You loved her.
She was awesome. She's still probably one of my favorite villains.
But she kidnapped all those cute puppies and wanted to skin them.
Yeah. She's into fashion. So, yeah, Andrea did a good job summarizing it.
What were your reactions?
The big takeaway is this felt deeper and more explored than Cruella ever did in any other movie.
Yeah.
And I loved there was a couple, like it almost felt Lady Gaga level of fashion and kind of Banksy moments where it's all about a giant statement.
It's like guerrilla fashion, like guerrilla warfare. We jump in and jump out.
Yeah.
It's that with
It was
fashion.
so fun. It was a blast.
It was fun. How does this compare to, say, like Maleficent, or what are some of the other villain picks that Disney has released?
I think this is maybe the best I've seen.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like a standalone movie and not just a let's explain a character.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. You know what would be fun? Is if we did a character breakdown.
Oh.
And let's start off by, since we're kind of talking about comparing new to old, I'm going to play a clip from the old
Excellent.
movie.
Yeah.
And we'll just see if the vibe fits that we saw Emma Stone.
Let her in, Nanny.
Anita, darling.
How are you?
Miserable, darling, as usual. Perfectly wretched.
Yellow smoke
Where are
everywhere.
they? Where are they?
Just wandering around the house.
Looking for the
Heaven's sakes,
puppies.
where are they?
Who, Cruella? I don't...
The puppies, the puppies. No time for games. Where are the little brutes?
Oh, it'll be at least 3 weeks. No rushing these things, you know.
Anita, you're such a wit. Here, dog. Here. Here, dog.
Cruella, isn't that a new fur coat?
My only true love, darling. I live for furs. I worship furs. After all, is there a woman in all this wretched world who doesn't?
All right. How did that feel?
I was trying to imagine Emma Stone saying those lines and doing those things. Yeah.
Right?
I could picture it.
I kind of had the same thought that she was very forward. She was very confident.
Does
and,
what she wants.
yeah, without any care to anyone.
Yeah. And this is actually this is kind of a good moment for a movie like this. Because traditionally, I think women are kind of put in a box where they're expected to be polite and nice and courteous and kind of take a back seat. And to have a movie where a woman is kind of brash and kind of rude, and just does
Still likable.
does what she wants. Who cares if she's likable? Like, she is doing her thing and she is rocking it.
Yeah.
It's almost it's almost a feminist statement that other people don't have to like you for you to be an awesome woman. Just do your thing.
Really well said.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it that way. Yeah. Cool. One thing that's new in this movie is the Baroness.
The Baroness, played by Emma Thompson.
And Emma Thompson is antagonist.
Yes. So she is kind of a who Emma Stone's Cruella character wants to be when she grows up. And it runs this big fashion house, and she's kind of a take no prisoners, kill or be killed kind of lady in the fashion world. She's very harsh, very demanding, and the story sets up Emma Stone's character against her, and they kind of bounce off each other to very interesting effects.
Yeah, and that's kind of the Devil Wears Prada vibe.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on when Cruella was in her employ. We kind of, had a Devil Wears Prada vibe there.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So what did you think of this audition? Is like a villain in a villain movie, a different villain.
Yeah. Well, here's the question. Like, this Emma Thompson character, what made her, she was kind of like, I don't care about anybody to the extreme except me and my fashion. And she even has a whole speech about it. But doesn't Cruella kind of end up being the same person?
Yes, she does. Absolutely. Which kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a weird story there. And it's a fun exploration, evolving character.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I love these two characters together. I love the fashion wars. It's a really interesting and something different. Maybe we don't see so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's cut to the technical stuff.
Okay.
Let's talk visuals.
Costumes.
Ooh.
What'd you think?
The fashion in this was so fun.
Oh my gosh.
When I see absolutely fun fashion, and this started even with Lady Gaga in, the meat thing was okay, but she's had some really loud
out there
outfits.
Just, yeah.
And
And this
so
felt
cool.
like that.
And this it was almost Lady Gaga to the extreme.
Yeah. Well, it was set in 1960s London.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have that cool era to work with. But man, they had some fun designing the costumes for this. It's just like visually so cool to see all of the different looks and all the fashion houses. And they had several fashion shows in it. And yeah, it was a major plot point also that they were like, you had this amazing fashion, and they really delivered on that, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It was loud.
Production design. What do you think about that?
The production design, we had two different things. We had Dirty London, we had Stealing London, and then we had like
Posh London.
Posh. And it was very crisp and clean. There was a lot of softness to the posh side. Like there's I don't know what the like seafoam green kind of vibe and pink and very clean and
that's interesting.
and it kind of felt like in small ways inspired by Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I can see that. It's kind of the really bright colors, almost to the extreme where it's abstract.
Yeah, this felt clean like that. Maybe not completely in his wheelhouse, but what was also interesting is when Cruella came out, and there's a whole nother visual
of reds and blacks and very strong colors in contrast to the pinks and
Yeah.
the softness. Yeah.
And so there was also editing wise, I noticed a couple times there was some interesting like smash cuts to a random scene for 2 seconds and then it was over, you know, and that also felt fun. I loved it. I thought it was well done. Disney put their A team on this, and you can tell.
Yeah. I really loved especially the you could see and maybe part of this was Emma Stone and part of this was the costuming. You could see her character evolve throughout the whole thing and get turned more and more into this villainous character. Whereas she starts at the beginning and she's angry, but she's fragile, and then she becomes strong. And you see that through costuming, but you also see that through her performance. So that was a really good blend of both.
How about the music here?
Music was fun. It was it was a weird, like eclectic, so many different bits. And it feels like every single scene had a different like piece of music that you're like, oh, I recognize that.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to pull up the
playlist. Like
the
I remember
playlist.
they had ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, playing, and then they jumped to like a Beatles song, and then they jumped to like it was just so many like, here are the hits of the 60s that were gonna 60s London, but they also threw in some other stuff too.
Yeah. Well, one fun fact I noticed when Emma Stone first appeared, the Rolling Stones were playing.
And you think they did that on purpose?
No, but it worked. And there were two Rolling Stones songs. So here we go. We got Bloody Well Right by Supertramp. We got Whisper Whisper by the Bee Gees. Inside Looking Out by the Animals. This is 1966 stuff.
And it did a good job of mirroring whatever was happening in the story. But yeah, they really dug into like the pop music.
I can keep going.
Keep going.
This is
Yeah.
crazy. There's so many songs. Watch the Dog That Brings the Bone by Sandy Gay. She's a Rainbow by the Rolling Stones. I Gotcha by Joe Tex. Time of the Season by the Zombies. These Boots Are Made for Walking, which was Nancy Sinatra, funny enough, not Cher. 5 to 1, Feeling Good, Fire by the Ohio Players, Whole Lotta Love by Ike and Tina, The Wild One, Hush, Livin' Thing by ELO, Stone Cold Crazy by Queen, Car Wash, Boys Keep Swinging, One Way or Another.
I'm gonna get you.
I know. I get ideas. I should stop. There's so many songs
There's so
in here.
many, and it just felt rapid fire, like playing all of these.
Yeah. I Want to Be Your Dog by John McCree.
Which was timed very well.
That was good.
Yeah, that was a good point in the story.
It really was.
Yeah.
So all that to say, the music I thought was stellar. It was a really good mix. But here at the Disney Plus Us show, we also have a little thing that we like to call
Here are true facts about
Cruella. Okay. Glenn Close, who played the first live-action Cruella de Vil in
She did.
101 Dalmatians, serves as executive producer for this movie. A popular myth is that filming was delayed due to Emma Stone's dislocating her shoulder at a Spice Girls concert in London, where she fell off her friend's shoulders June 2019. Stone later explains that the night before the Spice Girls concert, she was running in boots on a wood floor, slipped and broke her shoulder in 2 places. She went to the concert with her arm in a sling and didn't go for an x-ray until the next day. Filming was delayed.
Okay, so not the Spice Girls concert.
No,
just
but that would have
boots
been
and
funny.
Slippery floors. I didn't know the Spice Girls still performed.
I guess it must have been a special thing.
Yeah.
In one scene, the Baroness is watching a film starring Betty Lou Grayson, the original Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. The first look was shared at Disney's massive movie panel at D23 Expo, August 2019. This came as something of a surprise during the presentation, as there was no indication this was going to be one of the featured titles. So it's kind of a surprise.
By the way, surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the first trailer was released, the film drew comparison to The Joker. Both films take a famous villainous character and make them into a protagonist misunderstood by society.
Very different, though.
Yeah, totally different.
Like,
This is a fun PG-13 Disney movie.
yeah.
There's a hard R
And,
in
you,
The Joker.
and you leave the Joker and you're like, oh, man.
Life is terrible.
Yeah. Everyone's terrible. Life is terrible. This is like, well, that was fun.
This is Emma Thompson's fifth Disney film after Treasure Planet, Brave, Saving Mrs. Banks, or Mr. Banks, and Beauty and the Beast from 2017.
Yeah, she was Mrs. Potts, right?
You know, that sounds right.
Yeah.
That's
a hard act to follow.
I
though.
know.
Like Angela Lansbury, how do you follow that up?
In a case of irony, the dog-hating Cruella de Vil is played by Emma Stone, who is the beginning of her acting career, voiced a dog in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Huh.
So
she started out playing a dog.
She started playing a dog, and now she hates a dog. And
Which there were a lot of dogs in this movie.
I know.
And most of them, like, she had no problem with.
She
And
actually owned a few.
She owned a few, and she liked dogs.
They help in the grifting scheme.
They do. There were a few Dalmatians that were really mean.
Yeah.
And caused some issues early on that I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, checks out. I get the hatred.
Checks out. I get it. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So the $1 million question: is it worth it?
Oh man, I think so. Yeah. If you're looking for like a serious character portrait of what makes this villain tick, you may not get what you're looking for. But if you're looking to like just really enjoy the heck out of a movie, this might be it.
Yeah. I would say a bold statement. 1, yes, definitely worth it. I loved it. I would see it on the biggest screen possible with the loudest speakers. And I would stick to the rating. I would not let anybody younger than 10 to 13 see this, depending on maturity.
Yeah.
Like, it just wouldn't work. But those who can enjoy this will enjoy this.
Okay.
I had fun.
All right.
Well, folks, we have reached the end of this spoiler-free review. Thank you for joining us. I had fun.
I had a blast. Yeah.
All right. Like us, subscribe us. If you're on YouTube, comment us, review us, whatever. We'll see you next time for Toy Story 2.
Thanks for listening.